Hey, it's Cheryl with Home on My Making, where I inspire you to create a surrounding you love. I wanted to come on today and do a quick and easy craft. I have been cleaning out my closet, so I came upon some things that I wanted to create. So today I'm going to be using craft paper. Weirdly enough, I never got onto the card making bandwagon, but I love the paper. I walk down the aisles and I'm like, look at all these pretty papers. So as you're hopping on, let me know you're here so I can say hello to you and we can chit chat for a while. So what I'm going to do today is, while I was cleaning out my closets, I'm a paper hoarder. And basically what that means is, I don't care if it's notepads, I don't care if it's binders. If I go into TJ Maxx, I buy a ton of Post-it notes. So I love anything that has to do with paper, including the craft paper. The only thing is, like I said, I never got into making cards, but I make everything else with it. So let me get you on my iPad, and as you hop on, let me know that you're here, and I'll start. So what I did is I went through my paper stash, and here but later. Oh, you're going to watch and replay, Patricia? It's okay. Thank you for watching. So what I'm going to do is, I first decided that I was going to start with 2 pieces of coordinating craft paper. And that was half of the fun, is just finding what 2 pieces that I liked to go together. So today I'm going to be using these 2 pieces. And what I went ahead and did is I found these notebooks in my stash of paper. They're the composition notebooks from back in the day. Usually they're black and white. They do sell these at the Dollar Tree. I happened to get these at a discount at, I think it was Target at the time. When my kids were in school, every time this season was over with school supplies, I would go and get the discounted school supplies and save them to next year. And then sometimes when they went and looked at them, they didn't. Oh, you said. Okay, so you're still here. So what I would do is I would tell them, go look in the stash, see what we have, so we don't have to buy it. And then inevitably they didn't like the color I had. So I was left with a lot of them. So this is what I'm going to be using today. And again, you can get them at the Dollar Tree. And then I took 2 pieces of coordinating paper that I liked that went well together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with 1 piece. Patricia, you sprinkled already. Thank you very much. As you're hopping on, let me know who you are, where you're from, and if you haven't already liked and followed my page, please do so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out 2 6-inch wide pieces of this paper, and make sure that I just flipped it because I realized that I need it to go up and down, this being the top and this being the bottom. So make sure your picture's going the right way. So I'm going to cut out 2 6-inch pieces of this paper. And I have a little X-Acto knife thing. I'm going to use that. If you have just scissors, just use that. I actually picked this board up. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to Tuesday Morning for craft supplies, but Tuesday Morning has craft supplies. They have a lot of that. They have a lot of paper crafting craft supplies, and it's a brand name. I just don't remember the name because it's a popular brand name too for paper crafting. But I just buy their stuff to do my crafts on because I don't do a lot of paper crafting. This kind of stuff I do, but I don't make cards. So there you go, 2 6-inch pieces, and then your coordinating color cut in a 7-inch piece. Now this measurements is basically for this type of notebook. You're going to have to vary it based on what you're covering, because that's what we're going to be doing today, is covering this composition notebook. I do use pads and stuff when I'm doing some either at church when I'm writing down things, or even in my groups that I belong to for mentorship, so I love anything paper, but we're gonna jazz it up a little bit. We're not gonna leave it like this. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I took some Mod Podge, and I did use the matte color, and I put it in, I just added a little bit to these little containers. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. This way, if I have anything left over, I just put the cover back on it for now, and then when it's empty, I could throw it away. But if I had some left over, I don't have to waste it, because you never pour out the exact amount. At least I don't. So what I'm gonna do is I am going to line this. Can you guys see it? If you can't see, just swipe away the words up there to the right. I know it goes to the left because we're backwards. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add this to here. So I'm gonna take a foam brush and some of my Mod Podge, and with not trying to get too much on the edge because you don't want it to drip down and then seal your pages together so you can't use the book, but I'm going to do half of the book in the Mod Podge. And then I'm going to place the paper. I'm going to butt it up to the end of this like that. I'm just going to take a roller and I'm going to flatten it. If you don't have a roller, use a charge card or something, or your hands. I just want to get the air bubbles out so it doesn't have any bubbles in it. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn it over and trim it off. You do have to trim it off at this stage. And this particular book has a little bit of a rounded edge. So you just have to get that little rounded edge so it's got full coverage. I actually came up with this idea. If you had caught my earlier post, I had gotten a catalog in the mail, and it had a really, and I emphasize really, nice photo on the front, which was this. And I'm thinking, oh, what can I do with that? So I wanted to put it on here, but it was too big, too wide for this type of book. So that was my original plan. And then once I couldn't do that, I figured, well, let's still go with the craft, but we'll make it our own. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same thing, making sure my paper is going the right way. If this is the top of your book, just make sure that you got the design going the right way. Ask me how I know. I may or may not have done another one and did it the wrong way. So I'm going to put some more Mod Podge on there, and then I am going to line it up. Just push it to the end, and then again, flatten it, roll it, do whatever you need to do to get the air bubbles out. This is a Mod Podge tool. It's their brand. I think I got it at Michael's with their discounted coupon. Then again, what we're going to do is take it off at this stage. So you could use a razor blade, or you can use any kind of knife, or you can just cut it with a scissor. However you need to make it so that it gets a pretty straight line. An even cut. Again, these have a little curve on the corner of it. So that's what I have so far. So here's where the coordinating color comes in. Thank you, Mary Beth. So here's where the coordinating color comes in. I wanted to do something that would coordinate on here like this. So that's where I picked two colors. You could actually pick more and then just keep adding them, but I am only going to do two. So I'll tell you, the funny thing about this was, the fun part was trying to figure out which colors went good together. That was part of the fun. So I'm just going to kind of fold it in half. I'm not going to crease it too much, but the reason why I'm doing this is I want to get to where pretty much the center is, because I am going to stick it in here so I know where it lines up. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to just Mod Podge the top first. Again, if it moves like mine just did, just line it up again before you glue it down. And then get the binding in the back a little bit at this point. This way it stays. Again, try not to get too much on the sides, because if you do and it leaks down, your book won't open. Ask me how I know that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to center it that way. And then I'm going to push down, and so far now the top is glued. So again, I'm going to press it. If you find out after you did that that any of your ends were a little bit sticking up, go ahead and put more Mod Podge in there. And then I'm going to do this side. Again, being mindful not to get too much on the end side. So, because I am going to still use these books, they're just going to look different. Oh, and you know what I've got to do? I've got to cut it. That's why I was cutting it as I went on before this stage. But since I have this tool, I can do it like this. But I would do it before that. You flip it over. It's a lot easier to do it that way. Let me just get a little bit of Mod Podge in there. Okay. So yeah, if you cut that before you flip it and do the other side, it is a lot easier. So this is what I have so far. And that's my coordinating color. Can you see it? So it was fun, like I said, designing each one and picking out which color combination you wanted to do. So you could leave this at this point. You could leave it at this stage. This is a little bit coming up over there. I am not going to do that though. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put a little ribbon here. I did want something flat. I didn't want to embellish them. Hello, Esther. How are you? I didn't want to embellish them too much or too high because I am going to be using these. So I'm going to put a ribbon right down the center. So what I'm going to do is cut the end pretty straight, because that's going to be my side that I start with. Again, if those words are in the way and you can't see me, swipe to the right. And then this part, I'm going to use my glue gun. I'm not going to use the Mod Podge for this part. So I'm going to stick my ribbon there, and then I'm going to take it all the way to the other side. Kind of lining it up as much as you can line it up. Oops. Actually, let's just go like this. Again, I chose a totally contrasting piece of ribbon to give it more interest. This one has, if you could see, it's got polka dots on it. So I thought that would be interesting to add to that. Like I said, half of the fun of doing this project was coordinating all the colors. So that's what I have so far. So I am going to do that on the back too. Again, I did keep it with something flat because I am going to use these books. So I didn't want to embellish it too much with things that are tall. So the ribbon is not tall. So I'm using my hot glue for this. I'm not going to use the Mod Podge. And then just press that down. So there you go. What do you think? Isn't that cute? And it is a usable book now. I could still use it. It's not that it can't be used. I didn't ruin it in any way. So these were empty. I got them on a discount after the holiday, every year, the back to school special. If not, they do sell these at the Dollar Tree. So you could replicate this with any kind of craft paper you have. You could even use your kids' artwork. You could use brown paper. and stamp on it, anything to recreate this. So I went ahead and before I came on and did a whole bunch of different ones, and I'll show you the different ones I did. So here was another combination. It was the lemons, which are really popular right now, and a polka dotted print. I have a lot of craft paper. Like I said, I never even made cards, but I have the paper. So that was another one combination that I did. This was another combination that I did. It's like birds and then like a little gingham ribbon and polka dots. And this one I wanted to show you. This particular paper I had used before and I only had a little piece. So I liked it and I wanted to use it, but I didn't have enough to do the back. So I just did the back in this alternating color. So if you do have a piece that's not quite 6 inches and another 6 inches, do whatever you need to do. You could use 4 different colors if you really wanted to. So that was another one I did. And then this was another one I did. I like this paper too. It's most of these papers were from Joann's. This is the open stock paper, but these were in books that I had. So I just coordinated them, went through them, and so it's a little bird print and a little floral, and then that's a gingham. That's navy. I don't know if you could see it on there. And then this was the one that I just did now. So I have a couple of different variations of them, and again, they are usable. So I didn't ruin them in any way, and I just think they look a lot prettier than when I got them. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed this craft. If you're new to my page, please like and follow. And if you want to know when I go live, there's a notification button under there that tells you when I go live. But I do have a couple announcements. A couple of tutorials back, I am doing a challenge. And the challenge was to spread that video. So if you go back and you look at that and you want to be involved in the challenge, that is going to be a giveaway for a banner that I made. Go ahead and do so. And another thing, if you haven't already, join me over at my Creating with Cheryl page. Do so that we can exchange what we've made from products or projects that I've done on this page. Or if you give me an idea, do it over at that page. It's called Creating with Cheryl. You'll see my face. Click on it. It'll ask you a question and I'll let you in. So that's where we can exchange ideas, and you could show me what you're making or any questions or hints or tips back and forth. We could do it. Even if you have a hint for me, one of my viewers just put a project on there with how to take wax paper through a printer to get a transfer on there. So that's pretty cool. So that's Creating with Cheryl. So again, so don't forget to go there. Don't forget to join the challenge on the other video. And if you haven't liked or followed my page already, please do so. My granddaughter journals, I will have to do this for her. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Esther, I think it's really cute. I think it's, again, Dollar Tree has these. Walmart has these. I had these in my closet because, like I say, I'm a paper hoarder. I like notebooks, Post-it notes, anything, cards, anything with paper. So it just changed the total look of them, and these are going to be fun for me to have around and use. I think it was a quick and easy, no skill required creation also. So thank you for joining me. Again, if you haven't liked and followed my page, please do so. And you guys have a great day. See you soon.